Hi everybody. What I'm going to do today is a brief tutorial on how to, an easy way to cultivate and grow your own phytoplankton. So what you want to do is find a good source for a phytoplankton starter culture. I went to got a good starter culture from Mercer, Montana is where I got mine, but there's a lot of good places out there. So make sure you get yourself a nice, good culture. So what you want to do, there's a couple things you're going to need, which are pretty simple really. You want to get a rigid piece of airline tubing like this. Just get a rigid piece of airline tubing. I use a, this is a Hawaiian Punch bottle. So I just get like a Hawaiian, it's like 96 ounces or whatever. I just get a Hawaiian Punch bottle. And you're going to need some fertilizer. So what I use is this kind of fertilizer. It's an F2 fertilizer. I go ahead and use this. Some people, you say they use Miracle Grow. However, I do not. For various reasons, I think it's better just to go ahead and use, you know, what normally is used for growing phytoplankton, which is the F2 fertilizer, and it lasts a long time. It's not very expensive. And then I also get like a regular pump, and this is the kind of pump that I'm using right here. See here, and I got it at Walmart. It's like, you know, $5-6, whatever, and that's all you need. Real simple. And then you're going to need a light source, and I happen to have this Z-Lite LED I had got several years ago when I first got into reefing. So I had one just sitting in the basement collecting dust. So I went ahead and put that in here. I decided the best thing to do was to put it inside a cooler. So I put a little book in there, and inside a little cooler we weren't using, and I set the light up on that, and the light does have a timer with it, but you can buy any kind of timer at like Walmart or whatever. So that's what I did. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is I went ahead and mixed salt water. And you want to keep the salinity between 1.018 and 1.020. So for growing phytoplankton. So I went ahead and mixed up some of that. So then you want to take, right here, you want to take your phytoplankton starter culture, and you want to go ahead and dump it. I went ahead and eyeballed it, and I just dumped it in about, you know, quarter of the way up to half the way up my jug there. As you can see right there. And so then what I'm going to do, and also a funnel is very handy. You definitely want to get some kind of funnel. And this is just some kind of funnel I got from Walmart. So what I'm going to do, after you pour your little starter culture in, I'm going to add my water to it there. So I want to put not all the way, you don't want to make it all the way to the top of your jug. Just about right there is good. Okay, and then next thing I do is I have a little eyedropper. It's like a medicine eyedropper. You know, you can get one in, you know, any kind of liquid medicine or whatever. So then I come down here, and I'm going to do, I usually put in about, I fill the dropper up, and you don't have to use the funnel, I just had it in there for that, obviously. You know, you want to do 3 or 4, you know, each dropper. So usually I put about 3 to 4 milliliters for this size container, which seems to work out the best for me. So then after that, I go ahead and I have a regular lid right here that came with the container. So I take that and give it a good shake. And then I put it in here in front of the light source. And then what I did was I drilled a hole, actually two, drill a larger hole that fits your rigid airline tubing, see, in the cap, and then I drilled just a little bitty small hole, punched a little small hole next to it just so the air can escape, and then just put it in here. You don't want to tighten it real tight, just lightly, and then let it sit there and grow. And I keep the lights on at 16 hours a day, and it's on a timer, so after 16 hours it goes off and then comes back on again. But I keep it on there 16 hours a day, and it's usually ready to harvest in about a week, week and a half. If you come down and you notice it's a little low because it evaporated, make sure you don't top off with salt water. You top off with RO water just like you would normally in your fish tank. And on the next episode, I'll go ahead and do when we're ready to harvest it, I'll show you how to the easiest way to harvest phytoplankton. But this has worked for me. I've had this same culture going now for 6 months. If for some reason you come down one morning and your culture is like a yellow color, that means usually it means the culture crashed. But before you throw it out, I would recommend adding a couple milliliters of fertilizer first, and to see if it doesn't turn green and start growing for you, just in case you're not wasting the culture. If not, and it continues to stay yellow, you'll want to go ahead and throw that out and start again. So that is the easiest way I have learned to grow phytoplankton, and this batch is perfect for me with my size tank and how much phytoplankton I use. Obviously you can use the same method and grow multiple batches at once. You can split the culture and all that kind of stuff. But again, the key is definitely to start off with a good source of phytoplankton, nice dark green. And you want to use, again, all you need really is a good light source. Some people use light bulbs, some people have old T5s or fluorescent bulbs in their basement. I happen to have these fluorescents. You'll need a rigid piece of airline tubing. I think rigid works best. I mean, you could obviously use a flexible one if you couldn't find a rigid one, but I got mine at my local fish store. And like I said, just drill a hole in a cap, put it in there, and use your air pump. And I got mine from Walmart for like $5 or $6. So real simple. Like I said, I let the lights run 16 hours a day, and it grows away. So real simple. And again, keep your salinity between 1.018 and 1.020. Plankton likes to grow in the lower salinity. And if you're going to top it off, use RO water only, not salt water. And I'll have a part 2 coming up as soon as this one's ready to go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy reefing. If you like it, like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.